Have you ever felt that surge of motivation when you know everything is going to change, only to find out maybe a week or two later that you're stuck in the same place? Nothing really changed. And you're probably wondering, what's going on? Why did this happen? Why am I not making more progress? Well, you're caught in something I call the execution gap loop. And the execution gap loop is something that affects you even if you don't understand it, because it's going to keep sabotaging you even when you don't realize it. In this video, I'm going to explain what this execution gap loop is, and not only show you what it is, I'm going to help you permanently break out of it. The execution gap loop starts out with the spark. That's where it all starts. The spark, and you feel a glimpse of your true potential. You're excited for the growth or the achievement that's possible. You have new ideas, insights, or motivation that catapult you into this action and this feeling of greatness. This time it will be different. That's what you're feeling. This time it will be different. Then you get to step 2, the push. You start strong, but something always pulls you back. You start taking action, yes. Making some initial progress, for sure, but resistance builds under the surface. There's these underlying things that are still resisting and holding you back. Part 3 is the stall. This is where things show up as logical things to do or legitimate distractions, but they're taking you off your game. And life gets in the way here. You can feel overwhelmed, you can have perfectionism kick in, and you can start second guessing yourself. All those things start creeping in here, and old patterns of resistance start bubbling up to the top. The fourth part is the drift, and this is where one cycle ends and you're going to start into a new cycle where you get excited, you have a spark again. But before that happens, in the drift here, you lose momentum and you're just resigned that, well, maybe this is all that it can be. Maybe this is all that's going to happen for me. And you shrink into a lesser version of yourself. You have more potential and more possibilities for you, but you just don't see that happening. Then you go back to the spark again. You get a new idea, you hear something, and you get excited again, and the whole cycle continues. But you're not making the progress, you're not making the changes, you're not making the life that you really want. And the worst part is it feels personal. It feels like it's your fault, but it's not. This is just a pattern that you were never taught to recognize, let alone how to escape. Let me show you a way out. The reason you keep looping isn't a lack of effort, it's misalignment. When you try to execute from your current self, you're dragging all your doubts, fears, and past failures with you. But there's a version of you, your next self, that doesn't stall. They don't fall for distractions. They finish what they start. That's the version of you we want leading the way. This is where AI comes in, but not the generic kind that just spits out tips. I'm talking about personalized AI that knows your patterns, your goals, and your resistance triggers. When you train AI to mirror your next self, it becomes like GPS for your life. Every time you drift, it reminds you, this is who you said you are. This is where you're going. Let's get back on track. And when that happens, you don't have to fight the loop. You rise out of it automatically because you're finally aligned with your higher self. This isn't a motivational hack. It's a transformational shift. Most people don't fail from a lack of potential. They fail because they were led by a version of themselves that no longer fits. Infinity Shift was built to change that. In my free live webinar, I'll show you how to train AI to understand you on a deep personal level. This way you can neutralize internal resistance before it wins and takes over. How you can stay aligned to your next self, which is your higher self, consistently, which will help transform your life. It's time to stop starting over. It's time to break the loop. Join me in my free live webinar and let's shift everything. Sign up and I look forward to seeing you in the webinar.